so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose first sent bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we paused, were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that her flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A round of applause for Alexander Williams, singing our national anthem this evening.
Laredo Lemurs Baseball is on the air, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade 40, Whataburger of Alice. And now here's Bill Harrington with all your Laredo Lemurs play-by-play action.
All right, Lemurs fans, back to action here. We had a little half-hour break there. We'll be getting going here any minute.
75.
So the Laredo Lemurs losing the first game of the doubleheader tonight. That was the makeup game from yesterday between the Wichita Wingnuts and the Laredo Lemurs. And both teams have switched uniforms, just so you know. That is not the Lemurs out there warming up right now. The Wichita Wingnuts are wearing their camouflage uniforms. The Lemurs wore camouflage uniforms in the first game of the doubleheader. And now the Laredo Lemurs are wearing their gray tops and gray pants with black numbers and letters. And the Wichita Wingnuts are wearing their camouflage tops with their pinstripe pants.
Leading off for the Laredo Lemurs, designated hitter number 10, Devontae Richardson.
So Devontae Richardson to lead things off for Laredo. As we get going here, and coming up next for the Lemurs will be Ty Morrison. So Ty Morrison on deck for the Lemurs as John Link up on the hill for the Wichita Wingnuts. He'll get going and he'll throw the first pitch here in the second game of the doubleheader. Bunt shown and pulled back, and Richardson watches it go by. It's in there for a strike. We're underway. 7:48 is your official game time, and it's currently a chilly 59 degrees here. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball that misses away. So John Link back in the mix with the Wichita Wingnuts. He's been gone for a little while, but just signed today, and he's back on the club. Here comes the 1-1 throw. Swung on and a foul ball off to the right. So remember, Devontae Richardson on a hitting streak, a 21-game hitting streak now, because he got a couple of hits in the last game. In fact, he got 3 hits in the last game for the Laredo Lemurs in the first game of the doubleheader. So hopefully he'll be able to carry some more over here to this ball game to keep that hitting streak going. If he can get another hit in this one, it'll be 22 straight games. So no score, just underway here in the top of the first inning. Remember, this is another 7 inning. So all the guys went down to the clubhouse, got refreshed, and here we are with a 1-2 count to Richardson. He swings and lines one right to the second baseman, Oldham. He'll reach out and make the catch as he fell to his knees. So Richardson hit the ball hard again, right on the screws, but he gets out.
Center fielder number 35, Ty Morrison.
Well, I tell you what, Devontre, he got those 3 hits in the last game, and in the 5th inning, he hit a line drive into left field that was caught, and that one went for an out. But man, every time he seems to be hitting the ball right now, he's scolding it. So here's Ty Morrison, the newest Lemur. Morrison will show bunt, pull back, and watch it miss outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Morrison ended up reaching on an error in the 5th inning of the last game, and he ended up coming in to score. He was the only run to score for the Lemurs in the last game, the 1-0. Swung on, and that's fouled back. Morrison going to take a walk around a little bit, check on his leg. And JoJo, the trainer, hops to it up there. He hops right to the top of the dugout, but looks like he's going to stay in. Morrison right back into the batter's box. So John Link, your starting pitcher, just got done pitching in New Orleans in AAA ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung, that's a chopper over the head of Link. It goes up the middle. Hernandez ranges for it. He throws on the run, and it's in time to get him out. A close play there. The manager, Pete Gavilia, right out of the dugout, and he's going to run up to the first base umpire and have an argument here. Tim Kramer is the first base umpire. Cody Lowe is behind the plate, and Marty Bauer over at third base right now. A very close play down there at first base. Goes for the Wichita Wingnuts, and it's a 6-3 put up. And 2 down. And that'll bring up Abel Nieves for the Laredo Lemurs. So Pete talking things over with the first base umpire. Does not like that call. And now Pete will head back into the dugout. Well, the first base coach, Steve Hine, thought that Morrison was safe right out of the box. So Pete heading back into the dugout.
Second baseman number 14, Abel Nieves.
And manager Pete Gavilia shaking his head the whole way. Here's Abel Nieves. And the pitch to Abel is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, John Link was pitching in triple. And the 1-0 delivery, a breaking ball that misses low. He pitched in 6 games as a relief pitcher and pitched a total of 8 innings. He did not have a win or a loss and put up a 4.50 ERA. Here's the 2-0. Swung on a liner down the right field line, foul. That probably would have been extra bases for Abel, but he ends up top of the first inning. Second game of the double dip today. The Lemurs will be back out here tomorrow, 7:05 for the first pitch tomorrow. That's the regular scheduled times for a first pitch here at this ballpark. 7:05 starts. Then we'll have the same time on Thursday. Then the Lemurs will go back and start a new series. The 2-1 pitch swung, and that's fouled away. The Lemurs will head back down to Laredo, Texas, and when they get home, they'll welcome in the Amarillo Thunderheads. It's going to be a quick turnaround, though, for the Lemurs. They go back home for 4 and go right back out for 4. And that right back out is not a short trip. It's to Sioux City. Here's the 2-2 delivery. No one's in the dirt. Make it a 3-2 count. Yeah, a trip to Sioux City. The Lemurs have never played in Sioux City. Kind of odd. This is our 4th year in the league, and we've never gone up to Sioux City. You figured we'd go every place every season, but that's just not the case. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that's fouled back. In fact, the Lemurs do not play Gary this year at all. They do not play Winnipeg at all. But we do play Sioux City. And we will play them up there for the very first time in the Lemurs' existence. No score in the ball game. We're in the first. And I left my jacket back at the hotel. And it's a little chilly here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If I start chattering my teeth, you'll know why. Here is the 3-2. Called strike 3. Abel Nieves thought it was ball 4. The umpire rings him up. And that's going to do it for the Laredo Lemurs. They go down in order. We're going to head to the bottom of the first inning. No score here. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light? Which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Do you want to sit in a car for 7 hours, risk a flat tire, traffic, or highway construction delays? Fly direct from Laredo International Airport to Dallas-Fort Worth on American Airlines. From Dallas, you can change planes and take a flight to Tokyo, London, or even Rio de Janeiro. With 4 daily arrivals and departures, American Airlines is sure to have a connection that works best for you. So avoid spending hours in the car or risk an accident on the highway or even a flat tire. Fly in comfort from Laredo International Airport. Visit AA.com for details and to book a reservation.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
Chavarrias Plumbing's the #1 choice for any plumbing problem. Chavarrias is a full-service company with up-to-date technology trained professionals. With over 30 years of service to the community, Chavarrias is still growing strong. Visit chavarriasplumbing.com and go Lemurs! Falcon.
7, David Espinosa.
All right, David Espinosa starts things off with the Wichita Wingnuts as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Scott Gardner going to climb the hill here for the Laredo Lemurs. Gardner back up on the mound. He's ready to rock and roll, looking to shut down the Wingnuts, and he'll fire away, and that one is on the outside corner for a strike. The Lemurs defensive lineup goes like this. Taylor's out in left, Morrison back in center for the second game, Phipps in right. And the delivery from Gardner is a little bit low. Silverio's at third, Valdez is at short, Nieves at second, and Geiger at first base. Gardner throws, and that one swung on a fly ball hitting the left center field. Hit pretty well. Taylor and Morrison coming together. It's going to be Taylor making the catch. Remember the wind blowing in from left field, so that one got knocked down pretty good.
Somebody for the Wingnuts. Third
One down, and
baseman,
TJ
number
Middlestat
15,
coming up to the plate.
TJ Middlestat.
Brian Peterson's the catcher for this ball game. Luke Bailey caught the first game of the double dip. I'm going to bring up TJ Middlestat. Scott Gardner starts the day with a record of 5 wins and 2 losses. And the pitch from Gardner swung on and hit well into right center field. Going back on the ball's Phipps. He's going to pull up and make the catch about 10 feet in front of the warning track. Ball looked like it had a lot more to it, but I think it might have been hit off the end of the bat. So 2 down, and Joash Brodeen. Kind of odd here, just with the first 2 batters. Scott Gardner usually a ground ball pitcher, but the first 2 batters have hit the ball into the air. So here's Joash Brodeen into the batter's box. So as I was saying, Scott Gardner with a 5-2 record, a 3.32 ERA over 8 games. He has made 7 starts for the Lemurs. The pitch is low. He's coming off a nice victory against the Joplin Blasters. Went 7 innings against Joplin. Only gave up 1 run. It was unearned, the 1-0. And this is inside. And he gave up 7 hits that day. He walked 2 and struck out 4 batters. The Lemurs went on to win the game 2-1 against Joplin. The 2-0. Called a strike on the outside corner. He also pitched well against Grand Prairie in his start before that. He did not get a decision that day. He went 5 2/3 of an inning and only gave up 3 runs, but only 1 of them was earned. He throws here and a ground ball up the first baseline, and a bunch of kids are going to run after that, or at least try to chase it up the first baseline. And one of the Lemurs players down in the bullpen will probably play a little hidden ball trick with about 20 kids coming after that baseball. Probably can't share it with everybody, right? Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Called strike 3. And the Wingnuts go down in order. Scott Gardner looking good out of the box here, and we're going to head to the top of the second inning. No score. Need a little spark in your life? Then come on out to Uni-Trade Stadium for Friday night fireworks. Tickets start as low as $5, and you'll get to see great baseball and great fireworks all in one night. To get tickets, call 956-7-LEMURS or go online at LaredoLemurs.com. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Tokyo Garden of Laredo is located at 2515 East Del Mar Boulevard, and they serve the best sushi in town. Stop by Tokyo Garden for a quick lunch or a fancy dinner. Either way, you're going to enjoy our fine cuisine. Did you just get off work? Then come on by and check out our happy hour specials. Tokyo Garden, where you'll find the best sushi in Laredo.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Pro Mega Signs of Laredo is there for all of your printing and signage needs. We can be found at 1615 Jackman Road in Laredo, or you can reach us by phone at 956-723-2110. Again, that's 956-723-2110. If you need a sign, big or small, come to Pro Mega Signs of Laredo, where your print job is just around the corner.
All right, Dennis Phipps leads things off for the Lemurs as we go to the top of the second inning. John Link deals, and the fastball on the outside part of the plate right at the knees. Get to the scoreboard from around the American Association. We didn't have a lot of scores to give you during the first game of the doubleheaders. And here comes the 0-1 pitch from Link. Breaking ball swung on and fouled off to the right, and that'll get up and over by the bounce houses. So Grand Prairie and Kansas City, they also played the first game of a doubleheader. They were rained out yesterday, so Grand Prairie won the first game 4-3. Today, Joplin and Amarillo have been postponed due to rain. So they're getting the rain there. The 0-2 pitch, a check swing by Phipps. They'll check down with the first base umpire. He says he did not go around. So another pitch coming up to Phipps. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score here. Yeah, so Joplin and Amarillo playing in Amarillo are in a rain delay. Well, actually, it's already been postponed. So no game today there. The 1-2 swung on and a high pop-up. That's going to get back in behind us, so a foul ball. The Ottawa Champions and the St. Paul Saints are playing ball. The Ottawa Champions are from the Can-Am League. They're the newest addition to the Can-Am League this year. They have a 1-1 tie with the St. Paul Saints up there in their brand new, beautiful ballpark, CHS Field. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and a chopper up to the third baseman. Middlestat backs up. A long throw over to first base, and it is in time to get the out. Phipps beside himself there on that play. Thought he was safe at first. Threw his hands up in the air. Not happy about the call. The first base umpire did think about it, though, for a second. So a long 5-3 put out and 1 down from Phipps. And Kevin Taylor stepping in the batter's box. No score. Top of 2 for the Lemurs. Here's the pitch from John Link. And Link gets that one on the outside part of the plate for a strike, a little bit above the knees.
7, Kevin Taylor.
Link throws home, and that one is a little bit inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Taylor in the first game of the doubleheader went 1 for 3. So looking to get a base hit here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one inside for a ball. Sioux Falls is up over Lincoln 6-0. They're in the top of the third inning. Winnipeg won Fargo 0. They're in the top of the third as well. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and a flare up to the ball and move in a little and make the catch. So 2 outs. That'll bring up Dustin Geiger to the plate for the Laredo Lemurs.
Red Screen bonus games, action-packed table games, dining, and entertainment.
Geiger working as the first baseman since joining the Lemurs club.
Just a short drive from Wichita. Seven Clans Casinos, the official casinos partner of the Wichita.
Remember,
Wingnuts.
John Link, when he was with New Orleans in the Pacific Coast League, AAA ball with the Miami Marlins, pitched in 6 games, but all as a reliever. He was not working as a starter, but comes right in here to Wichita and starts the first game he plays
Now
for
batting
Wichita
the
this
Lemurs,
season.
it's the beer batter. First baseman
Geiger sees a strike from the first pitch. Geiger pitched with Wichita last season, put up a mighty 11-2 mark. A swing and a miss here by Geiger, and that's strike 2.
He strikes out during this at bat. You can
So
enjoy
Link
20
was
hours
11-2 last year with a 3.26
for the next
ERA,
10
made
minutes.
20 starts, or 20 appearances and 19 starts altogether for Wichita. Here's a swing and a chopper up to the third baseman, backing up Middlestad again. A long throw, he skips it on the turf, and it's in time to get the out. Matt Paget with a nice stretch on the other end over at first base, and that's going to do it for the Wichita Wingnuts. No score here for the Lemurs. They go down 6 straight. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
In over 40 years, nobody's helped more families achieve the American dream of home ownership than Armadillo. In fact, Armadillo Homes has built more homes than all other builders combined. And there are reasons for this: integrity, responsibility, service, and of course, quality. So if you're thinking about making the greatest investment in your life, think of the one builder who's dedicated its entire life to helping the Laredo family. Think Armadillo Homes, armadillohomes.com. Go Lemurs.
Breakfast speaks for itself here at Whataburger. It's going to be hot, it's going to be fresh.
It's almost like when you were a kid and you wake up in the morning, you can smell mom cooking breakfast.
I like their hash browns.
My favorite's the honey butter chicken biscuit. I like the taquitos.
We have some fresh cracked eggs here.
I like these pancakes because they're fluffy.
I really like the fact that you can get into Whataburger real fast and bring it on the go.
We're cooking breakfast for you at Whataburger.
We all know we can accomplish more when we're ready. That's why I've chosen Texas A&M International University. I want a 4-year degree and the opportunities that it brings. TAMU has welcomed me and more than 7,000 students from around the world. TAMU empowers me to greatness, ignites my mind, and propels me to my future and my impact. Imagine the possibilities when you're powered by TAMU.
Register now for summer and fall. Visit tamu.edu and get powered.
All right, Matt Paget going to climb into the batter's box on the left side for the Wichita Wingnuts. No score here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Scott Gardner will fire away. And that pitch is a little bit low. Gardner will bring a sinker, a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. He holds the baseball in his right hand and goes into the windup and throws, and that one is fouled off at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Every time Matt Paget comes up with one of the guys that started on the Lemurs team, it takes me back to when the Lemurs were in their spring training sessions, because they were throwing a lot of live pitching against Matt Paget. Here's the pitch. That one swung on a line drive into left field. It goes away from Taylor. Taylor will dive and it will come up short. The ball will keep rolling. It goes all the way out to the wall. Paget on his horse. He's in at second base with a double. He'll round the bag there and stay. So Paget with a double to left field. Taylor comes up just a little bit short as he made a great dive. And the ball might have tipped off of his mitt, but it was just a little bit short for him to come up with the catch. A great effort there by Kevin Taylor. Well, no score, but the Wichita Wingnuts have a runner in scoring position here with nobody out. Here comes John Nestor to the plate. Nestor working as the designated hitter in this ball game. He was the catcher in the last ball game, so he's moved to the DH spot. So Matt Paget over at second base with nobody out. Here's the pitch to Nestor, and he'll take a strike on the inside corner, just below the letters. I don't think Nestor liked the call too much. He's shaking his head in the batter's box. No balls and 1 strike. Swings an ash-colored bat, does Nestor. And the pitch swung on. That one's chopped up the third baseline foul. The manager for the Wichita Wingnuts, Kevin Hooper, will grab it, and he'll throw it into the stands. So Gardner looking in, getting a sign from the catcher Brian Peterson. Peterson behind the plate in this game. Bailey was behind the plate for the Lemurs in the last game. The 0-2 misses outside. So the Lemurs have the veteran catcher in tonight. Not that Bailey doesn't have time under his belt. He does. But Brian Peterson, the longtime catcher. Probably got at least maybe 10 to 12 years on Bailey. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung and missed. That was a slider there by Gardner, and going down on strikes is Nestor. He has a few words for the umpire as he leaves, and now he slows down and takes a step or two back, and now the Nestor still having a few words with him. Home plate umpire just standing his ground there, Cody Lowe. And Nestor goes down swinging. There's one down, and coming up to the plate is Brent Dean. Dean working as the catcher in this ball game. Matt Pageant at second base. He's got his head on a swivel out there, making sure no one's sneaking in behind him. Here's a ground ball. One hopped right back up to Gardner. Gardner will look back at Pageant and quickly throw over to first base to get the out. Pageant stood his ground as soon as he saw Gardner had the ball. And Pageant started heading back towards the bag. So Dean grounds out 1-3, and there's two down. And Luis Hernandez coming up to the plate. So Luis Hernandez in from the left side against the righty, Scott Gardner. Luis Hernandez, a former major leaguer. He's out of Venezuela, and the pitch. Slider misses inside. Luis Hernandez currently 31 years old. Played in the Braves organization, Baltimore, Kansas City, the New York Mets, Texas Rangers, and Cleveland Indians. The 1-0 pitch. Called a strike right at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. He made his first appearance in the big leagues back in 2007. And the 1-1 pitch. This is inside for a ball. He played against the Texas Rangers, got 1 at bat in that ball game, and that was it. No hits there in his very first game of the big leagues. That was back on July 8th of 2007 at the tender age of 23. The 2-1 pitch swung on and a hard hit ground ball. Bel Nieves dives. The second baseman has it. He flips sidearm over to first base, and it's in time to get the former major leaguer Luis Hernandez out. That's going to do it for the Wingnuts. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're going to the third. No score in the ball game. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Since Extending Technologies opened for business in 1998, they have worked to establish solid relationships with their clients. They are set to maintain the highest standards of service and integrity and to perform work of only the highest quality, achieving client satisfaction on every project. They have attained these goals through a tradition of care and professional pride. They serve a wide range of corporations and small business franchises. Extending Technologies has the tools and expertise for any technical need that your business may have. Call us here in Laredo at 725-2654. That's 725-2654 for Ascending Technologies.
Sweating through another barn burner at your team's bar?
Sure am.
Wish you had some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in meeting new people, epic fist bumps, epic forearm bumps, epic or chest bumps, touchdown dancing, breakdancing, line dancing, dancing like nobody's watching, awesome refreshment for the win, and one-of-a-kind Rocky Mountain cold refreshment. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma. Pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres. Pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo. Carne asada con ganas, solo en H-E-B.
Shortstop number 33, Jehudi Valdez.
All right, Jehudi Valdez leads things off for the Laredo Lemurs as we go to the third inning. No score here. 1 hit for the Wingnuts, and John Link going to climb back up on top of the rubber. And he'll be ready to go. So he'll wind and throw to Jayudi Valdez, who swings at the first pitch, lines it down the right field line. It's a fair ball, bangs up against the wall, grabbing it is Espinoza. He'll throw it back in quickly, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Jayudi Valdez right out of the box. So the Wichita Wingnuts started off with a double when they were up in the bottom of the second, and now the Lemurs come right back and do it with Jayudi Valdez hitting the first pitch that he sees in this at-bat. And that'll bring up Juan Silverio now for the Laredo
Third
Lemurs.
baseman number 32, Juan Silverio.
And Brian Peterson is on deck for the Lemurs. Silverio, in the first game of the doubleheader, ended up going 0 for 3. And the pitch, outside for a ball. In fact, the bottom of the order for the Laredo Lemurs ended up going 0 for 12 in the first game of the doubleheader. Everybody went 0 for 3. So 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order. All went 0 for 3. The pitch swung on a ground ball over to the right side. Pageant has it. He'll race over to the bag at first and take care of Juan Silverio. So ground out to first base, but Jayudi Valdez moves up to third on the play. And here comes Brian Peterson to the plate for the Lemurs. So a little bit more about John Link. I love seeing this. Takes me back, as John Link was drafted by the Montreal Expos back in the 45th round back in 2002. You know, they're trying to get baseball back in Montreal. The last 2 seasons, they've had preseason baseball up there, and they've had great attendance. But it's going to take a brand new ballpark to bring back a baseball team to Montreal. And one of the teams being considered is the Tampa Bay Rays. You know, they don't have great attendance. The infield moves in for the Wichita Wingnuts. Here's the pitch to Brian Peterson, and that one misses low. You know, that would be an easy switch, and that would put a natural division rival in Canada for the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's the 1-0. That one in there for a strike. So if Montreal got a baseball team again, they would have that rivalry with Toronto, and they'd be in the East because Tampa Bay is in the East, so they wouldn't have to move any teams. That'd be bad for Tampa Bay, but they have a lot of baseball in that area. Here's the 1-1. Slider misses away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner at third base for the Lemurs. Yeah, there's tons of baseball in that area. They have the Dunedin Blue Jays over there. They had the Port Charlotte baseball team. The Port Charlotte, what are they called? They're all the teams in the Florida State League. Here comes the 2-1. Called a strike right at the belt on the outside part of the plate. The Tampa Yankees are right there. I mean, there's like 5 baseball teams right around where the Devil Rays play. And they're all minor league teams, of course. They're not big league teams, but there's a whole collaboration of teams in that area. And I don't know if that takes away attendance from a big league club. I doubt it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Peterson goes down looking. And a runner at third base now with 2 down for the Lemurs. So we go up to the top of the order for Devontae Richardson.
Every season starts at 6. Designated hitter number 10, Devontae Richardson.
Devontae Richardson into the batter's box. Yeah, but John Link was drafted by the Montreal Expos, so that's pretty neat. Always fun to see the Expos name come up. First pitch to Devontae Richardson is swung on and missed. Now, I doubt if they'd be called the Montreal Expos if they moved back there, if the Tampa Bay Rays moved there. Who knows what they'd be called. Well, they might take up the Expos name. You never know. When I was a kid, though, man, I thought they had the coolest uniforms. The 0-1 pitch, and that one is low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. But that stadium, that stadium definitely had to go. Was it Olympic Stadium? It's been a long time since I've said the name of the baseball stadium in Montreal. I think it was Olympic Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 down. No score here from Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. The delivery, low and outside. Devontae Richardson looking to extend his hitting streak. He's got a 21-game hitting streak right now. He's looking at a 2-1 count. Here it is, the 2-1 pitch. Swung and missed. You get 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, John Link, by the way, never did play in the Montreal Expos organization. He was drafted again in the 26th round back in 2005 by the San Diego Padres, and that's when he decided to come out and start playing professionally. Here's the 2-2 pitch, low for a ball as it moves outside, and Brent Dean covers it. A runner at third base for the Lemurs. They're trying to score first in the ball game. Devontae Richardson looking at a 3-2 count with Jeudy Valdez at third. Here's the pitch. Swung on a fly ball, hit into left field. Brodeen moves back, and now he'll come in, and now he'll make the catch. Well, I tell you what, John Link spent some time in the big leagues. And next time he comes up to pitch, we'll talk a little bit about that. It wasn't a whole long time, but we'll bring that up nonetheless. We're going to take a break. No score here. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific boys and girls clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at driscollhealthplan.com.
Todos sabemos que podemos lograr más cuando estamos listos. Por eso, decidí matricularme en Texas A&M International University. Quiero un título universitario y las oportunidades que me brindará. Tammy U me ha recibido a mí y a 7,000 estudiantes de todo el mundo. Tammy U me impulsa a ser grande, enciende mi mente y hace mi corazón latir. Imagina las posibilidades cuando eres impulsado por Tammy U.
Inscríbete ahora para verano y otoño. Visita tammyu.edu y sé impulsado.
3, 2, 1, number one. That's Laredo's #1 Chevy dealer. Family Chevrolet turns the best day ever into the best month ever. 15% off, not good enough, but 25% off, now that makes it the best month ever. With over 600 vehicles available, makes it the best pricing ever. 2015 Equinox, 2015 Traverse, not 15, but 25% off. And the best financing rates for the best month ever, 1.9 interest. Family Chevrolet of Laredo.com. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet. Family Chevrolet is the #1 volume Chevy dealer for a reason. Every customer rides during our spring cleaning closeout sale with massive price cuts on 600 Chevys. New 2015 Chevy Cruze. How about 25% off MSRP? Wow, that's huge. Or only $199 a month. New 2015 Malibu for only $269 a month. Or 25% off MSRP plus 2 years free maintenance and a 100,000-mile warranty. It's a spring cleaning closeout sale happening now at the #1 volume Chevy dealer. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet.
All right, first pitch, Taylor Oldham misses outside for a ball. He didn't miss much. Here's the next pitch, and it is a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. Thanks for sticking with us here through the doubleheader. I know a lot of you are still viewing the game right now. The 2-0. Called a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. A fastball there from Scott Gardner. Gardner likes to work quickly. He's done a nice job so far tonight. He's only allowed 1 base runner. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And that one is low for a ball. So Gardner will get ready to throw again. Gardner posted a 20-15 record in his 4 years at Bethune-Cookman University. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Oldham earns a walk. He's working as the designated hitter in this ball game. And that'll bring up Jace Ray, the center fielder.
Brought to you by H&R Block. Visit them online at hrblock.com for all your tax
Yeah, during
needs.
Gardner's freshman year in 2011, he went 9-2 with a 2.48 ERA and made 3 appearances in the NCAA baseball tournament. Gardner was named Rookie of the Year and Pitcher of the Year in the MEAC. He was also recognized as a freshman All-American. And the pitch to Jace Ray, swings and takes it the other way. A ground ball up to the third baseman, Silverio. Silverio will try to go to second, but he throws it by Abel Nieves, and it goes into shallow right field. So Oldham's going to go all the way over to third base, and Jace Ray will go to second. And there's going to be an error there. So an error on Silverio. And that'll move everybody up to second and third. So a big opportunity here for the Wingnuts with nobody out, runners at second and third base. And Silverio, probably should have just went over to first base. It would have been a very close play at second anyway. Into the batter's box is David Espinoza. Now the infield has to play in for the Lemurs, and Espinoza takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. So over at third is Oldham, at second is Ray. No score here in the bottom of the third, but the Wingnuts threatening the pitch. Whoa, and that's off the foot of David Espinoza. So Gardner hits Espinoza, and TJ Middlestat coming up to the plate. So now the base is loaded for Wichita. Peterson out to talk things over with Scott Gardner. And Peterson will head back behind the plate for the Laredo Lemurs. Middlestat batting from the left side. Swing away against Gardner. So a big situation here for Scott Gardner. He's going to try to work out of the trouble, but there's nobody out and the bases are loaded. The pitch is low, blocked by the catcher, Brian Peterson. The backstop here at this ballpark, just in case one does get by Brian Peterson, is pretty deep, but it's got a lot of cushion to it, and the ball comes bouncing back pretty good to the catchers usually. The guy with the horn's going crazy right now. Here's the 1-0. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there by Gardner. Gardner starting up with a changeup there to the batter, TJ Middlestat. He'll throw the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a line drive into right center field. This one is going to be knocked down by the center fielder, Morrison. He keeps it out in front of him. One run's already in to score, but everybody had to wait to see if the ball was going to get down or was it going to get caught. So 1 run scores for Wichita, and Morrison went diving out there in right center field, and he looks a little bit banged up right now. He says he's all right, as Dennis Phipps goes over and asks him if he's okay. Everybody moves up on the plane. It's going to be a base hit for Middlestat. He gets an RBI.
For the Wingnuts left fielder, number 33, Joash Brodeen.
Here comes Joash Brodeen. So the bases are still loaded. And Morrison did a nice job trying to get into the right center field gap and diving for the baseball, and just falling a little bit short with the catch. He's still bent over at the waist out there in center field. Hopefully he's okay. He just joined the Lemurs yesterday. He was signed to play yesterday. And if the Lemurs didn't have the rain out, he would have played in the game. They're playing in the doubleheader here today in center field. Last thing they need is a guy that just showed up to go on the disabled list. So Mike Myers all done chatting things up with Scott Gardner and the crew. He'll head back into the dugout, and the bases are still loaded for Wichita. So the batter's going to be Joash Brodeen. Brodeen in the first game of the series, in the first game of the doubleheader, got a base hit. And he also grabbed an RBI with that base hit. So Jace Ray's over at third base, David Espinoza at second, and TJ Middlestat at first. The pitch is low, a fastball. 1-0 Wichita here in the bottom of the third inning. Bottom of the third inning is when Wichita scored in the first game of the doubleheader. That was the first time they scored then. Here's the 1-0. Swung and a ground ball chopped up the first baseline, foul. The Lemurs bullpen guys headed down the right field line, and once the trouble started brewing for Gardner, but Scott Gardner usually can go decently deep in ball games. At least goes 6 innings. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gardner kicks and throws, and that one swung on, and a line drive down the right field line, foul. There is just a heap load of kids down the right field line by the Lemurs bullpen. There's no way they can give baseballs to everybody. There's 20 to 30 kids down the right field line looking for balls. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and every time a ball comes down there, and the last 2 have, they're going out of their minds crazy. Here's the 1-2. It's like they have candy in their hands or something. The 1-2 pitch is low. One thing I know for sure is kids love candy, and they like baseballs too. 2 balls and 2 strikes, especially free baseballs. Two balls and 2 strikes to Brodeen. The pitch swung on a liner down the right field line. That one's foul. Well, Brodeen getting some good wood on the ball. Is fouling him off. So the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's still nobody out here in the inning. Not one of the kids got that ball. That went down the right field line. It's a 2-2 count. Here it comes. And that is called strike 3. Brodeen beside himself right now as he turns his head and will head back into the dugout. He has struck out twice in the ball game. And both times he has gone down looking.
Now batting for the Wingnuts, baseman number 25.
And here comes Matt Pageant to the plate. Well, Matt Pageant has a grand slam home run in his career against the Laredo Lemurs. Scott Gardner's job is to make sure it doesn't happen again. That grand slam home run came back up in Kansas City when he played for the T-Bones. The first pitch is low and inside. And it was actually a walk-off grand slam home run. It was a big one. He walked off the Lemurs in the bottom of the 9th inning with that grand slam up in Kansas City. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch is low. He actually has a home run this year against the Laredo Lemurs. Last time we were in town in Wichita, Matt Pageant hit a home run over the right field wall. He only has 2 home runs on the year. One of them coming against Laredo. 2 balls and no strikes to Pageant. So a runner at every bag and 1 down. Lemurs would love a double play ball right here. That one swung on and fouled off, I believe, the catcher's foot. So it went off Brian Peterson and rolls up the first base line a little bit. TJ Middlestat will grab that one, and Lemurs and everybody else who has that ball will throw it out of play. That one gets thrown to one of the many kids over on the right side. They're making some noise down there. They knew there were 4, so they've probably gotten like 4 or 5 balls already in this ball game down the right field line. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball, and Gardner's hurt. Gardner's arm, I believe, has come out of the shoulder socket. He is on the ground, and his arm looks like it's just hanging out. And he's walking away from the trainer, and it looks like he literally just dislocated his shoulder. His arm is hanging, and he's walking around. He's okay, but that arm is not doing too well. He went right down to the ground after he threw the pitch. And hopefully he's okay. The trainer gonna walk him off the field here. Usually they would try to get the arm right back into the socket. Maybe he's not dislocated his shoulder, but that's the only thing I could think of, the way his arm was hanging. And he seemed to be perfectly fine up until that pitch. He'll walk into the dugout here, and the Lemurs are going to have a new pitcher coming in. It might take a little while. So we're going to have an injury interruption here, and hopefully Scott Gardner is okay. A bunch of his teammates gathering around him down there, and he went from one pitch being perfectly fine to another pitch not doing well. The trainer's attending to him down in the dugout. He walked off the field, which is definitely a good sign. And what I said there about his arm dangling, I mean, it was total speculation on my part. And I apologize if that's the wrong diagnosis right out of the box like that, but That's what it looked like immediately, as if his arm came right out of the shoulder socket. So he's in the dugout, and we're still waiting to see who's going to get up and start throwing for the Laredo Lemurs. So while they do that, we'll go ahead and get you a scoreboard from around the American Association. And that's not good. The Lemurs are planning on Gardner going probably 5 or 6 innings in this ball game. I believe manager Pete Cavilla has not decided quite yet who he wants to get up and have start throwing. So Grand Prairie beat the Kansas City T-Bones in the first game of the doubleheader, 4-3. Wichita beat the Lemurs here in the first game of the doubleheader today. And the Lemurs are sending somebody out to the mound. It looks like it's John Brebria. This is kind of a surprise. Brebria is the quote-unquote closer for the team. He's the guy that comes in and usually tries to shut the game down. But I guess in this situation, with the bases loaded and a run already in, the Lemurs need a closer in this situation. So Brebria is going to pitch here. Joplin and Amarillo have been postponed. So a good sign here for Gardner. Well, I hope it's a good sign. His arm apparently was not out of the socket, but the way he held that arm so limp, that's what it appeared like to me. So I apologize for that. But Gardner has some ice around his elbow. And the training staff is going to walk him down to the clubhouse, which I don't know what would be worse, having an elbow issue or a shoulder come out of the socket, but nonetheless, he's leaving the ball game, and that's really unfortunate. Scott Gunner has pitched so well for the Lemurs as of late. So he's going to be leaving the game here, and John Brebria warming up for Laredo. The Ottawa champions, they're beating the St. Paul Saints 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Sioux Falls is up over Lincoln 6-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Winnipeg 5, Fargo 0 in the top of the 4th. And Gary's up 1-0 over Sioux City in the bottom of the 5th inning. So there's your American Association scoreboard. Now remember, John Brebria can throw as long as he wants here. He does not have to just throw 8 pitches to warm up. It's an injury warm-up situation for him, so he can throw as often as he wants. He was throwing in front of the mound, now he's throwing behind the mound, and he'll probably get up on the mound and throw 8 or 10 pitches and be ready to go. So we're going to take a quick timeout, come back with some more baseball for you. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubbada, boom, which led to you. Miller Lights, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Crowd at the bar making you sweat?
Uh-huh.
Could you use some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in epic nights, maximum refreshment, great times, awesome memories, high fives, smiles, Rocky Mountain refreshment, Blue Mountain refreshment, quadruple epic refreshment, killer parties, and totally refreshed killer parties. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Capital Care EMS, located at 1510 Caila Norte Suite number 11, invites you to experience a new standard in medical transportation, servicing Laredo and all surrounding areas. Capital Care EMS provides transports to wound care treatments, HBO treatments, dialysis treatments, doctor's appointments, radiation treatments, chemotherapy treatments, and many more. From emergency medical transports to x-rays and lab work, our state-certified EMTs and paramedics are readily available 24 hours a day when you need them most. Capital Care EMS accepts most major medical insurances, including Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and many more. Capital Care EMS is locally owned and operated. Call now for your free consultation. 956-712-8911. That's 956-712-8911. Capital Care EMS, creating a new standard in medical transportation. Capital Care EMS, the official ambulance of your Laredo Lemurs.
Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Catholic College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800. Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Kaplan College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800.
Kaplan College does not guarantee employment or career advancement. Information about programs at www.kaplancollege.com/consumer-info.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. The chicken is hot and fresh. It's got melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and then the honey mustard adds a nice sweet flavor to it.
All the flavors come together just perfect. I mean, not only do I want to eat it, but I keep wanting to look at it.
The crunchiness of the bacon adds a really nice texture.
Honey mustard and chicken just go together. You know, sweet and savory, it's a perfect mix.
Try the new Honey Mustard Whata Chicken Club. Only at Whataburger for a limited time.
Hey Lemurs fans, every Thursday night at Uni-Trade Stadium is a Thirsty Thursday. Come on out and enjoy cold Miller Lite draft beers for only $1. That's right, beer for $1. You can get tickets online at LaredoLemurs.com or by phone at 956-7-Lemurs. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. Real proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo area and supply slip sliding fun for kids of all ages. Texas Inflatable Rentals has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Inflatable Rentals at 956-436-3909 or at texasinflatablerentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slide.
E is in Edward, WP is in Paul.
All right, so John Burbria taking over on the mound for the Laredo Lemurs, and Burbria starts the night with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses and a 1.33 ERA. He's pitched in 23 games for the Lemurs, by far the most of any pitcher for Laredo. He has 6 saves, has thrown in 27 innings, has struck out 37 batters, has walked 5, and has given up 13 base hits. So Matt Pageant going to be coming up to the plate with a 3-1 count, and the bases are loaded, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Wichita Wingnuts here as Scott Gardner leaves with an injury. And we wish him the best. I'll be checking in with him after the ball game tonight to see exactly what happened, and of course I'll transfer that information on to you tomorrow during the broadcast. Remember, a 7:05 start here in Wichita tomorrow night. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Matt Pageant as John Burbria takes over the count. There's 1 out in the inning. Over at third base is Jace Ray. At second is David Espinoza. At first is TJ Middlestat for the Wichita Wingnuts on the base paths. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and that one is high, ball 4. So a walk, and that's going to bring home a run. It's now 2-0 in favor of Wichita. So Pageant walks, brings home a run. And that'll bring up John Nestor.
Somebody for the Wingnuts, the designated hitter, number 17, John Nestor.
John Burbria, by the way, not only first on the team, but also second in the league in appearances with 23. The pitch swung on, and that's fouled up here. Whoa, look out. And caught right next to us. Hey, nicely done. It's a nice catch right in the booth next to us. I have a funny feeling that's one of the players for the Wichita Wingnuts that's not actually playing right now that just caught that ball. Don't know who it is, though. The 0-1 pitch is called a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. It's 2-0 Wichita. Brent Dean is on deck. Lemurs looking for a double play ball to get out of the inning. The pitch swung on, a check swing. They'll check down with the first base umpire. He'll ring him up. That'll be strike 3 for John Nestor. So Nestor's not going to be too happy. He struck out in his last at bat, and he gave the home plate umpire an earful. So now he'll head back to the dugout and deal with that one.
Number 16,
2 down.
Brent Dean.
Here comes Brent Dean. Brent Dean working as the catcher in this ball game. Nestor caught the last ball game. John Brebria an out away from working out of trouble here. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2 runs in for Wichita. And the pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. Brent Dean bowed his head a little bit after that one. Brent Dean starting the day with a 309 average. 15 RBIs on the year. The pitch. He swings and pops this one way up. It'll get up and over the ballpark. So a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes. So John Brebria comes right out and starts throwing strikes after he walked Matt Padgett. Remember, he only had to throw 1 pitch to Matt Padgett, so he really didn't have a whole lot of room for a mistake there. So Brebria adjusts his cap, holds the baseball behind his back, puts his mitt next to his thigh, looks in and gets the sign from the catcher Brian Peterson for the Lemurs. The pitch. That one missed just by a little bit. Brebria started walking off the mound, and the Lemurs infielders started walking off as well. I thought they had called strike 3 there. But apparently, got to throw 1 more pitch here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. At least 1 more. And the delivery. That one's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 Wichita here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Remember, this is just a 7-inning ball game. So it's important to get a lead, and the Wichita Wingnuts have it right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes, but the Lemurs going right to John Brebria, their main man out of the bullpen right now. They have some really good bullpen guys. The 2-2. Called strike 3. That's going to do it for the Wichita Wingnuts. Brebria comes in and strikes out 2 batters, and that's going to do it for Wichita. But they do come up with 2 runs. They had 1 hit, and
All right, fans.
there was an error. So they leave 3 runners on. So we're going to the top of the 4th. 2-0 in favor of Wichita.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light, which led to people thumbing through their dictionaries, which led to there's got to be a better way to look up words, which led to the invention of spell check, which led to better resumes, promotions, celebrations, and happy hour. Miller Lite, we invented light beer and happy hour. You're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Do you want to sit in a car for 7 hours, risk a flat tire, traffic, or highway construction delays? Fly direct from Laredo International Airport to Dallas-Fort Worth on American Airlines. From Dallas, you can change planes and take a flight to Tokyo, London, or even Rio de Janeiro. With 4 daily arrivals and departures, American Airlines is sure to have a connection that works best for you. So avoid spending hours in the car or risk an accident on the highway or even a flat tire. Fly in comfort from Laredo International Airport. Visit AA.com for details and to book a reservation.
Uni-Trade continues to provide solutions in foreign trade through a highly satisfactory customs brokerage service. Uni-Trade has quality trained personnel devoted to the highest level of customer service. For all your transportation, distribution, and consolidation needs, it's Uni-Trade.
There's a reason why Popeyes creates some of the best tasting chicken in the world. We were born in New Orleans, Louisiana, the land of good fun and great cooking. Spicy flavor is a way of life in New Orleans, and everything we make reflects it. From our Popeyes bona fide chicken and handcrafted tenders to our home-style mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy and our soft buttery biscuits, everything we make is made with care and served up fresh. Only at Popeyes.
One of their slices of art, Picasso Pizzeria.
Leading things off for the Laredo Lemurs is Ty Morrison.
Ty Morrison.
So Morrison coming up to the plate. It's going to be Morrison, Nieves, and Phipps for the Laredo Lemurs. Lemurs down 2-0, but Scott Gardner out of the ball game here early for Laredo. He got injured. Bunt shown by Morrison. He pops it up into foul territory, and it's going to fall foul. So Morrison will get another opportunity.
Operated hotel, proudly hosting and supporting the Wichita Wingnuts visiting teams. Amenities include company beds.
Morrison grounded out in his first at bat of this ball game. Earlier tonight in the first game of the doubleheader, he ended up going 0 for 4.
Enjoy our friendly hospitality.
He's coming off some time with the Gulf Coast Rays over in Florida. It's a rookie ball affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Low for a ball. Throughout the Rays system, he made it up to Double-A ball. He played for the Montgomery Biscuits in 2012 and 2013. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and a fly ball. Hit well. Espinoza had a long way to go there, but he was able to catch up to it and bring it in.
Hey, Wingnuts fans.
So 1 down.
This season of the Wingnuts win at home.
Well, I mentioned to you, John Link had some time in the big leagues, the guy on the mound for the Wichita Wingnuts right now. Played with the San Diego Padres back in 2010.
Second baseman number 14, Abel Nieves.
Scratch that. I said the Padres. I meant the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 2010. Here's Abel Nieves taking a strike on the outer third of the plate. I'll say it again with the same amount of enthusiasm that I did when he said the San Diego Padres. He played for the Los Angeles Dodgers back in 2010. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Link shakes yes to the catcher Dean, and the pitch. Low and outside. He pitched in 9 games back in 2010. Pitched in 8 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 12 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them were earned. Walked 4 batters. All in the big leagues. His first game in the big leagues as he throws the 1-1 pitch here is swung on and fouled into the glove of the catcher. First game in the big leagues for John Link came on April 20th of 2010. And he pitched against Cincinnati. Pitched 2 innings and did not give up a hit. He walked a batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The leg kick, the throw home, and that is low for a ball as Abel Nieves backs out of the batter's box. Nieves went down looking in his first at bat back in the first inning. 2-0 Wichita. And the pitch. Swung on and a ground ball over to the right side. Getting in front of it and bobbling it just a little bit is Oldham, but he'll recover and throw over to first base for the out. 2 down. Dennis Phipps, the batter now for Laredo. So here's a battle of former major leaguers right now. John Link and Dennis Phipps. And just about the same amount of time in the big leagues. John Link pitched in 9 games in Major League Baseball. Dennis Phipps played in 8 games in the big leagues. Dennis Phipps was a September call-up back in 2012 and got 10 at-bats in the majors. He had 1 home run. He went 3 for 10. The pitch swung on and missed. So advantage Link right now. No balls and 1 strike. Phipps steps out of the batter's box and readjusting his batting gloves after that one. He almost swung himself right out of his batting gloves. Phipps in his first at bat grounded out to the third baseman, TJ Middlestad. It was a close play over at first base. Link shakes yes. He'll deal on the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on, popped up into foul territory. The catcher Dean going back, and it's going to get way back into the stands. When the ball first went up, it looked like it might stay in play, but as it kept going further and further back. Now Dean's going to go and have a visit with his starting pitcher, John Link. So while John Link was in the minors, he spent time in the Padres organization, the White Sox organization, the Dodgers, Baltimore, Miami, Detroit. So he was all over the place throughout the minor leagues as he throws a pitch here and it barely misses outside. A close pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2-0 Wichita. We're in the top of the 4th inning. On a chilly night in Wichita. Here's the wind and the throw home. Swung on and grounded right back up to the pitcher. Links off the mound. He'll run halfway over to the first base. An underhand toss. And it's in time to get the out. The Lemurs go down in order for the third time in this ball game. We're going to head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Lemurs are down 2-0. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Falcon Bank and the Laredo Lemurs are a winning combination. At Falcon, they know what counts. Personalized service, attention to detail, and genuine commitment to helping customers achieve their dreams. Falcon Bank, guided by faith, grounded by family, and committed to you.
Need a little spark in your life? Then come on out to Uni-Trade Stadium for Friday night fireworks. Tickets start as low as $5, and you'll get to see great baseball and great fireworks all in one night. To get tickets, call 956-7-LEMURS or go online at LaredoLemurs.com. I'll see you at the ballpark.
Core Business Solutions is a proud sponsor of Lemurs Baseball. Core Business Solutions services the 17 southernmost counties of Texas as well as areas of northern Mexico. They offer a wide range of high-tech solutions for businesses and organizations. Make Core Business Solutions your solution today.
Tokyo Garden of Laredo is located at 2515 East Del Mar Boulevard, and they serve the best sushi in town. Stop by Tokyo Garden for a quick lunch or a fancy dinner. Either way, you're going to enjoy our fine cuisine. Did you just get off work? Then come on by and check out our happy hour specials. Tokyo Garden, where you'll find the best sushi in Laredo.
Right now, when you sign up for a Gold's Gym membership, you'll get tons of extras completely free. Confidence, free. Compliments from your coworkers, free. And the desire to wear tiny bathing suits, you guessed it, free. You'll be stronger with extras, and you'll be stronger with Gold's Gym. Know your own strength. Tiny bathing suit not included.
Pro Mega Signs of Laredo is there for all of your printing and signage needs. We can be found at 1615 Jackman Road in Laredo, or you can reach us by phone at 956-723-2110. Again, that's 956-723-2110. If you need a sign, big or small, come to Pro Mega Signs of Laredo, where your print job is just around the corner.
For all of your vehicle collision repair and paint needs, there's only one place to turn, Mike's Paint Place. Mike's Paint Place has computerized color matching and digital imaging. They also do full frame and suspension repairs. Stop by and see Mike's Paint Place today at 6410 Polaris Drive in Laredo.
In over 40 years, nobody's helped more families achieve the American dream of home ownership than Armadillo. In fact, Armadillo Homes has built more homes than all other builders combined. And there are reasons for this. Integrity, responsibility, service, and of course quality. So if you're thinking about making the greatest investment in your life, think of the one builder who's dedicated its entire life to helping the Laredo family. Think Armadillo Homes, armadillohomes.com. Go Lemurs.
Lemurs have a new pitcher on the mound, Travis Stout, taking over on the hill, and he'll throw a pitch here, and it's in there for a strike to Luis Hernandez. So Hernandez back up at the plate. He grounded out to second base back in the second inning. 2-0 Wichita. Stout throws again, and that one swung on and missed. So Travis Stout has only pitched in one game so far for Laredo. He joined the team back on June 28th. He pitched on the 29th against Joplin, and we haven't seen him since. So he threw 4 innings that day. Actually came in relief. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swung and a ground ball over to Abel Nieves at second base. Nieves backs up, gets the ball on a good hop. He'll flip over to first base, and there's another 4-3 putout for Luis Hernandez. Here comes Taylor Oldham. So in that one game, Stout pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs. They were both earned. He gave up 5 hits and walked a batter and struck out 2. This is his first stint in professional baseball. He attended Jacksonville State University in Jacksonville, Alabama. Taylor Oldham into the box, stands pretty close to the plate. And Stout delivers, and it's a breaking ball. A curve falls in there for a strike. In 2015, Stout posted an 0-3 record in college and a 3.09 ERA. Bunt shown by Oldham. He pulls back as the ball goes all the way back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2-0 Wichita. He saw his first action with the Gamecocks back in 2012 and posted a 5-1 record and a 4.44 ERA. Here's a ground ball over to the left side. That's going to sneak through for a hit. Oldham will round the bag, and Taylor will throw the ball back into the infield, and Jeudy Valdez will grab it.
For the Wingnuts, the center fielder, number 4.
Here comes Jace Ray. Jace Ray, the number 9 hitter. Kevin Hooper going through some signs. So 2-0 lead for the Wingnuts, and stepping into the box is Jace Ray. He scored a run. He reached on a fielder's choice in the third, so he's one of the 2 runs up on the board for Wichita. And Travis Stout back up on the hill, runner at first base. And 1 out. The runner goes. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second base is a good one, and it is not in time, though, according to the umpire. Looked like it was right on line there to second base, and just the tag might have been a little bit late. So stolen base for Taylor Oldham. So a runner in scoring position here for Wichita. They like to steal bases, this team. They'll run. Kevin Hooper likes to be aggressive out there on the base pass. 1 ball and no strikes. The delivery bunt shown and pulled back, and that's called a strike on the outside corner. Evens up the count at 1-1. So Stout working out of the stretch. He'll throw quickly, and a breaking ball there hits the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. David Espinoza is on deck for the Wichita Wingnuts. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Remember, just playing 7 again. Second game of a doubleheader. The 1-2 pitch swung and a ground ball over to the left side. Backhanding J.U.D. Valdez. He'll have to set. He'll have to throw quickly. The dig by Geiger, and it's not in time. Geiger pulling that one off of the turf, and a nice bounce into the glove of Geiger, but according to the first base umpire, it was not in time to get the out.
Somebody for the Wingnuts, right fielder.
So an infield hit.
David Espinoza.
And Jace Ray was hustling right out of the box. And he knew that one was going to be some trouble there. The way he was running and the way J.U.D. Valdez had to come off of the bag at second and go to the backhand. That was a normal shortstop position for Valdez when he actually got to the ball. Here's the first pitch to David Espinoza. Misses very high, but J.U.D. Valdez playing, of course, close to second base, trying to hold the runner. Now Brian Peterson to go up and talk things over with Travis Stout. He'll head back quickly. If you're watching the camera, you can see where J.U.D. Valdez is right now. Well, that's where he started out before that last pitch was grounded over a little bit to his right. And he had to backhand the ball. If he would have been at normal shortstop position, here's the pitch to Espinoza. It's low. He would have got to that ball pretty easily. Instead, he had to go, backhand the ball, come to a complete stop, and get up and throw over to first base. So runners at first and second base and 1 down now. Still the double play ball in order for the Lemurs. The pitch swung on, and that's fouled back up here. Look out. Into the radio booth of my colleague, Jason Kempf. Well, he can get them all day long, as long as I care. Don't send them this way. Last year we had one winging up here during the playoffs, and there's still a hole in the wall up here for where it hit. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Stout throws, and that one is taken high for a ball. Make it 3 balls and 1 strike. 2-0 Wichita. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Wingnuts. No runs on 1 hit for the Lemurs. The Lemurs made 1 error. And the 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. That'll walk a batter. Everybody's going to move up a base, and the bases are loaded again for the Wingnuts. TJ Middlestat coming up to the plate. He's already got a single and an RBI to his credit tonight.
Third baseman number 15, TJ Middlestat.
So at third base is Taylor Oldham. At second is Jace Ray. At first is David Espinoza. Two nothing Wichita. And Stout delivers. That one is low for a ball. Peterson had to smother it to make sure it didn't go back to the wall. Wants to make sure it stays right there. Middlestat on the season with 30 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a grounder foul, very foul. It goes bouncing over by the Lemurs dugout. Middlestat in 2014 spent time with Kansas City. In fact, he spent a lot of time there. He played all 100 games with the T-Bones. Not a lot of guys play the full season, all 100 ball games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stout throws. Swung and a line drive down the right field line. That's going to be trouble. Coming in to score is Oldham. Right behind him, here comes Ray. Phipps finally digs it out. A third run might score. Here comes Espinosa. The throw's going to go to third base. It's going to be a triple, but the ball gets away from the third baseman Silverio, and here comes Middlestat. A triple, and he comes in to score for the Wichita Wingnuts. 4 runs are in. It's now a 6-0 ball game. Abel Nieves was the cutoff man. He threw short to Juan Silverio. It bounced and went all the way back by the wall and allowed the runner from third to come on home, which was the original batter, TJ Middlestat. So he gets a triple and he comes home on the throw. And 4 runs are in just on that play. And here's the batter, Joash Brodeen.
Everybody clap your hands.
Next pitch is low. Joash Brodeen has struck out twice looking here today. Now the Lemurs are in a world of hurt right now, as the next pitch is fouled off the leg of Joash Brodeen. Things just do not seem to be going right for this ball club. They won 1 game against the Grand Prairie Airhogs, and that was a close game. Lemurs won that game 4-1. They lost the 1-0 game in extra innings on Sunday. And the 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled away. They lose the game earlier today by a final score of 5-1. Come out here and fall behind 6-0. The 2-2 pitch swung on and that's fouled off at the plate. So the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, manager Pete Ingavilla, as he always does, trying to make moves to make this team better, always trying to improve the team. And that's one thing nice about independent baseball. They're constantly trying to make the team better and trying to move forward. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on and a line drive into right center field with a base hit. Dennis Phipps is going to try to run that one down. It's going to get by him and go all the way out to the wall. Brodeen's around second. He's heading for third. This might be back-to-back triples for the Wingnuts. He's going to slide in there safely. No throw from Abel Nieves that time. And it is back-to-back triples for the Wichita Wingnuts. And Matt Pageant going to come up to the plate. Still 1 out. 4 runs already in to score for Wichita this half inning.
Somebody for the Wingnuts. The Janikin cleanup hitter.
So Matt Pageant with a double already in the ball game. That came back in the second. He walked in the last inning. Walked with the bases loaded. That was the first batter that John Breveria pitched against. Remember, he came in with a 3-1 count against Pageant and walked him on the first pitch. Pageant swings at the first pitch here, pops it up. It'll go back, and it's going to get out of play. Brian Peterson with the mask off, going to take a look at it, but it is indeed out of play. Well, the Lemurs by record definitely in this thing. It's just it doesn't seem like things are going right at this point. You want to make sure they right their ship very, very quickly. The 0-1 pitch swung on, and that's fouled off to the left, and it might get up and out of the ballpark. It lands on the Budweiser tent down the left field line. So no balls and 2 strikes. Infield playing in for the Laredo Lemurs. And the delivery is low. So a 1-2 count to Pageant. He waves the bat over the plate once. Stout will wind and throw, and that one is swung on and missed. Strike 3 for Pageant. He looked like he was fooled there. So 2 down. And John Nestor is going to be coming up to the plate. Nestor has struck out twice today, and he hasn't been very happy about either of them. I guess you're never really happy about striking out. It's just I think he thinks that it was not his fault. Thinking the home plate umpire rang him up once, and then the first base umpire got him on a check swing the second time. 6-0 Wichita. The pitch. He swings here and pops it up into center field. Morrison moving back. He's got a beat on it. The crowd's making more noise than what the ball's worth. And that's going to do it for the Wichita Wingnuts. So, John Nestor flies out. Wichita Wingnuts in the inning score 4 runs. They get 4 runs on 5 hits. Scratch that. 4 runs on 4 hits. And there was 1 runner left. There was 1 error in the inning as well. So we're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. It's 6-0 Wichita. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Breakfast speaks for itself here at Whataburger. It's going to be hot. It's going to be fresh.
It's almost like when you were a kid and you wake up in the morning, you can smell mom cooking breakfast.
I like their hash browns.
My favorite is the honey butter chicken biscuit. I like the taquitos.
We have some fresh cracked eggs here.
I like these pancakes because they're fluffy. I really like the fact that you can get into Whataburger real fast and bring it on the go.
We're cooking breakfast for you at Whataburger.
We all know we can accomplish more when we're ready. That's why I've chosen Texas A&M International University. I want a 4-year degree and the opportunities that it brings. TAMU has welcomed me and more than 7,000 students from around the world. TAMU empowers me to greatness, ignites my mind, and propels me to my future and my impact. Imagine the possibilities when you're powered by TAMU.
Register now for summer and fall. Visit tamu.edu and get powered.
Since Extending Technologies opened for business in 1998, they have worked to establish solid relationships with their clients. They are set to maintain the highest standards of service and integrity and to perform work of only the highest quality, achieving client satisfaction on every project. They have attained these goals through a tradition of care and professional pride. They serve a wide range of corporations and small business franchises. Extending Technologies has the tools and expertise for any technical need that your business may have. Call us here in Laredo at 725-2654. That's 725-2654 for Ascending Technologies. All right, the Lemurs coming up to the plate. It's Kevin Taylor, Dustin Geiger, and Jehudi Valdez against John Link. 6-0 Wichita. The game is being played under complete lights now. The lights have completely taken over. Let me restate that. The lead, now let's try it over again. The Lemurs are playing underneath the lights now. There you go. That was simple. Here's Taylor. Can we start over? That pitch is in there for a strike right down the middle. So no balls and 1 strike. Dustin Geiger will bat next. And then Jehudi Valdez. Taylor, left-handed batter against the righty John Link. And the pitch swung on and fouled back into the screen. Lemurs will have 2 more games here against Wichita, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday before heading home. The Amarillo Thunderheads will be coming into town. No balls and 2 strikes to Taylor. Taylor flew out to center field in his first at bat in this ball game. And here's the pitch. Swung in a line drive down the right field line. Foul.
Your attention, fans, with Jared Fox. Jared Fox, please report to the ENC Insurance Company's customer service.
The count will stay at 0-2.
Jared Fox, please report to customer service. Thank you.
Time to look around the big league, see what's going on in Major League Baseball tonight. Take a look at the scoreboard and see if there's anything exciting happening. No balls and 2 strikes. And Link will throw, and that one swung on, and a fly ball hitting the center field. Jace Ray is right there. He'll reach up and make the catch. So Taylor's gone, and 1 down, and Dustin Geiger will be the batter.
Important to ENC Insurance Company's customer service window at this time. Annabelle Peck and Morgan Holcomb, please report to customer service.
Dustin Geiger in his first at bat, grounded out to the third baseman.
First baseman number 20, Dustin Geiger. He strikes out during this at bat. You can enjoy.
Geiger finds the far end of the plate, makes sure he's in the batter's box where he wants to be. Geiger is the strikeout batter of the ball game. Here's the pitch. And he looks at a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. St. Louis is up over the Chicago Cubs 2-1. They're in the top of the 7th inning. And Link shakes yes. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tampa Bay and Kansas City are knotted up at 1 apiece. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oakland A's are beating the New York Yankees 4-3. They're in the bottom of the 10th, playing in New York. No balls and 2 strikes to Geiger. Here's the pitch. Fastball away. Padres 2, Pirates 1. They're in the bottom of the 5th. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Indians are beating the Houston Astros 2-0. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are up over the Texas Rangers 3-0 in the middle of the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Geiger. Here's the pitch. A swing and a foul ball goes back into the screen below us. Atlanta Braves over the Milwaukee Brewers 4-1 in the middle of the 7th inning. And the Twins all over the Baltimore Orioles today, 8-2. Toronto 2, the White Sox 1. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chicago White Sox have not fared too well this year. Thought they were going to be a better team than they are. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Swung on and a pop-up foul. Angels and Rockies are playing ball over in Colorado, and the Angels are up 10-1. Detroit and Seattle are just underway, and so are the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mets and Giants just getting underway as well. And a couple of finals for you in Major League Baseball. Cubs 7, Cardinals 4. That one's in the books already. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Geiger. It's low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Royals in Tampa Bay just finished off a 9-5 ball game, so apparently they got rained out yesterday as well. Of course, Kansas City not too far from here. We're in Wichita, Kansas right now. The 2-2 pitch swung on and a line drive. A soft pop-up over to the second baseman. And Oldham will put that one away. Jeudy Valdez coming up to the plate. Yeah, so Kansas City and Tampa Bay were rained out yesterday, so they're playing a double dip today.
Shortstop number 33, Jeudy Valdez.
Cincinnati beats Washington 5-0, and the Boston Red Sox over the Miami Marlins 4-3. So here's Valdez with 2 down in the inning. We're in the 5th. A breaking ball hits the inside corner for a strike. And John Link is on it right now. John Link has only given up 1 hit to the Lemurs. And we're through 4 2/3 of him on the mound. So he was coming at a AAA ball dealing here against the Laredo Lemurs tonight. The pitch, swung on and missed, a changeup. Jeudy Valdez does have the only hit, a double. In fact, he struck for that double with the first pitch he saw back in the 3rd inning. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swung on and missed. There's strike 3.
And that's another Dick's Sporting Goods strikeout.
4 of the 5 innings, the Lemurs have gone down in order. Jeudy Valdez has been their only base runner. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 6-0 Wichita. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Sweating through another barn burner at your team's bar?
Sure am.
Wish you had some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in meeting new people. Epic fist bumps, epic forearm bumps, epic or chest bumps, touchdown dancing, break dancing, line dancing, dancing like nobody's watching, awesome refreshment for the win, and one-of-a-kind Rocky Mountain Cold refreshment. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hey, ¿tienes algo que celebrar? ¿Que le salió el primer diente a tu hijo? ¿Que tu abuelita aprendió a tuitear? ¿Que cambiaste tu cheque? La respuesta es la misma. Pues un carnesazo. No importa lo que estés celebrando, lo que importa es que lo celebres. Pues con un carnesazo de H-E-B. En H-E-B encuentras gran variedad de cortes a precios bajos y de buena calidad. Carnesazo. Carne asada con ganas solo en H-E-B.
We'd like to imagine that if you're listening to this, it's on a radio in a backyard in between innings. The grass was mowed this morning, and the grill smells like heaven. And what do you know? Your friends just arrived with a 24-pack of Miller Lite, along with a few new friends to enjoy them with. Here's hoping we're right, and you're not just stuck in traffic. Here's hoping it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. 2015 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
South Texas families never strike out with Driscoll Health Plan. Catch the value-added services we pitch to our Medicaid members. Enjoy a free membership to specific Boys and Girls Clubs. Receive gift cards for completing Texas healthcare checkups. Restrictions and limitations may apply. Visit us at DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Catcher number 16, Brent Dean.
All right, Brent Dean starts things off for Wichita. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's 6-0 Wichita. Travis Stout staying on the mound for the Lemurs. He'll throw. That one is low and inside. Brent Dean, Luis Hernandez, and Taylor Oldham coming up to the plate. A 1-0 pitch, swung on in a line drive, hit well into left field. Taylor going back on this one. He'll pull up and make the catch. One down, and Luis Hernandez coming up.
Number 9, Luis Hernandez.
I was looking this over earlier today. I thought it was kind of a neat note to pass on. The Mets shut out the Dodgers and the Giants, according to Elias Says. The Mets won at Dodger Stadium on Sunday 8-0. And then they defeated the Giants in San Francisco on Monday 3-0. They're the first team to win back-to-back road shutouts, one against the Dodgers and the other against the Giants, as the first pitch is fouled off by Luis Hernandez, since those two teams moved to California after the 1957 season. Didn't even know they would keep a stat like that. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Low and outside. In fact, the Mets are the first team since the 1925 Reds to record consecutive shutouts, one on the road against the Giants and one as a visitor versus the Dodgers in either order. The 1-1 pitch is low for a ball. Cincinnati did that with a 4-0 win at Ebbets Field on July 17th and a 3-0 triumph at the Polo Grounds on July 18th. The pitch is outside. Three balls and one strike to the batter, Luis Hernandez, a former major leaguer. That pitch is swung and a ground ball to Abel Nieves. He'll dive for it, gobble it up. He'll get from the knees and throw there, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. A nice put out by Abel Nieves, diving for the ball, getting to his knees, throwing quickly over to first base, and completing the out. Here comes Taylor Oldham.
Second baseman number 13, Taylor Oldham.
So Oldham on the day has scored twice. He walked back in the third and came around to score, and he reached on a single in the fourth and came around to score. The Wingnuts put up 2 runs in the third and 4 runs in the fourth inning. 6-0 Wichita. The pitch, a curveball. That finds the inside corner for a strike. Drops right over by the belt. So no 1 count. The pitch. That one pegs the outside corner. Good pitch there by Travis Stout. Well, the Lemurs might leave Stout in there to try to eat up some innings here. He is fresh as timeout's called by Taylor Oldham. Jace Ray is on deck, but 2 outs in the inning. And Stout deals again, and that one is swung on, tapped off the plate. Stout will go for it up the third baseline. He'll go into a slide, but he can't come up with the ball. He tried to go into a slide, grab the ball, and plant himself, and then throw. That should be a base hit. And they are going to give it a hit. Jace Ray coming up to the plate. Lemurs down 6. So runner at first base and 2 down. And the left-handed batter, Jace Ray, into the box. Stout throws home, and that one's in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Brian Peterson. Well, J.D. Martinez's home run and RBI single on Monday night gave him 15 home runs and 35 runs batted in over his last 24 games for the Tigers. The only other active player to hit at least 15 homers and drive in 35 or more runs over a span of fewer than 25 games this season, or in one season, excuse me, is Troy Tulowitzki. Did it back in 2010 and Josh Hamilton in 2012. Alex Rodriguez did that, spanning seasons from 2006 to 2007. A couple of tosses over to first base, and Jace Ray diving back, or excuse me, Taylor Oldham diving back in safely. Jace Ray is up at the plate. So Stout throws home, and that one is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Ray reached on a fielder's choice in the third, reached on a single in the fourth inning, scored both times. And the pitch, high for a ball. 3-0, so now, after getting the first 2 outs pretty easily, Taylor Oldham reached on a single against Travis Stout. And now Jace Ray is looking at a 3-0 count. Here's the pitch, outside, that's ball 4. So 4 straight wide ones there from Stout. And there's runners at first and second, just like that. We're in the bottom of the 5th, 6-0 Wichita. Go up to the top of the order for David Espinoza.
Now batting for the Wingnuts, right fielder number 7, David Espinoza.
Espinoza steps into the batter's box and measures off where he needs to stand. All kinds of different ways for guys to get into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch he sees. It's a strike on the outside part of the plate, a fastball at the knees. 0-1 count. David Espinoza was walked in his last at bat in the 4th inning. He came around to score. He was part of that bases clearing triple. The 0-1 pitch outside just a little bit. TJ Middlestead, the on-deck batter, is the guy that hit the triple, and he ended up coming in to score on the play when there was an error by Abel Nieves on the relay throw over to third base on the triple attempt. That allowed TJ Middlestead to get up and come in to score, so all 4 runners came in to score on the play. The 1-1, breaking ball called a strike. Good curveball there by Travis Stout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 60 degrees right now at the ballpark. Used to it being much warmer here in this yard. Stout holds. Now he'll throw the 1-2 pitch, and it's low and inside. Right over the toes of the batter. So a 2-2 count. 6 runs on 7 hits for the Wichita Wingnuts. No runs on 1 hit. The Lemurs have 2 errors. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Espinoza is fouled away off to the left. That'll get up into the stands. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs here. Lemurs still have the 6th and the 7th inning to bat. Remember, only 7 innings right now. We're playing the second game of a doubleheader. The 2-2. Swung and a line drive into right. Here comes Phipps. He'll make the catch at his knees, and that's going to do it for the Wingnuts. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. Lemurs are coming up to the plate. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
3, 2, 1. Number 1. That's Laredo's #1 Chevy dealer. Family Chevrolet turns the best day ever into the best month ever. 15% off. Not good enough, but 25% off. Now that makes it the best month ever. With over 600 vehicles available, makes it the best pricing ever. 2015 Equinox, 2015 Traverse. Not 15, but 25% off. And the best financing rates for the best month ever, 1.9 interest. Family Chevrolet of Laredo.com. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet. Family Chevrolet is the #1 volume Chevy dealer for a reason. Every customer rides during our spring cleaning closeout sale with massive price cuts on 600 Chevys. New 2015 Chevy Cruze. How about 25% off MSRP? Wow, that's huge. Or only $199 a month. New 2015 Malibu for only $269 a month. Or 25% off MSRP. Plus 2 years free maintenance and a 100,000-mile warranty. It's a spring cleaning closeout sale happening now at the #1 volume Chevy dealer. Come see why the deals are always better at Family Chevrolet.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to fewer guys with beer bellies, which led to more women attracted to those guys, which led to dates, second dates, wedding bells, and honeymoons, which led to hubbada, boom, which led to you. Miller Lights, we invented light beer, and you're welcome. 12 ounces contain 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, 1 protein, 0 fat. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Crowd at the bar making you sweat?
Uh-huh.
Could you use some ice-cold refreshment?
You bet.
Then Coors Light may be right for you. Could result in epic nights, maximum refreshment, great times, awesome memories, high fives, smiles, Rocky Mountain refreshment, Blue Mountain refreshment, quadruple epic refreshment, killer parties, and totally refreshed killer parties. Ask your bartender for Coors Light today.
Definitely.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
All right, Juan Silverio starts it off for the Lemurs, but a new pitcher in. John Link is done. He had a nice night for Wichita. I'll tell you about that here in just a second. But first, the new pitcher is Al Yavoli. Yavoli, a right-handed pitcher, and he brings the heat. Here's the pitch to Silverio. He'll see a fastball right down the middle for a strike. So Yavoli coming in to pitch. And he's currently third in the league with 22 appearances. He'll throw, and that one swung on and fouled away. He's a left-handed pitcher and a big old boy down there. 6'3", 225 pounds. Played his college ball at High Point University. He also spent some time at Tennessee Wesleyan as the next pitch misses outside. 6-0 Wichita, by the way. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And he'll fire home on the 1-2. Swung on and a fly ball foul off to the right. Rain's starting to fall here. Just a light mist coming down right now. Shouldn't harm anybody too badly. Should be able to get this game in unless it gets any harder, but we're already in the 6th, and it'll take a little while for the turf to get totally drenched. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Swung and nubbed off the end of the bat. It's going to roll into foul territory. In fact, it'll go to the first base coach, Steve Hine, for the Lemurs. 6-0 Wichita. Yavoli started off in independent ball. He was not drafted. He was picked up by the Washington Wild Things of the Frontier League. The 1-2 delivery swung on, and that one's popped up. That may be playable in foul territory. Dean, the catcher over by the Lemurs dugout, will make the catch. At the last moment, he leaned into the Lemurs dugout. He caught the ball before going to the Lemurs dugout. He banged his waist up against the rail. So one down in the inning. So yeah, Yavoli started off playing for the Washington Wild Things of the Frontier League back in 2012. Played there in 2012 and in 2013, then got picked up by the Cubs in the 2013 season. He played for the Kane County Cougars. That's the Midwest League. It's A-ball. So here's Brian Peterson. Peterson's still 2 hits away from 1,000 in his career. He looks at a fastball here, and it's a strike on the outside corner. 6-0 Wichita. So after that season for Yavoli with Kane County in the Midwest League and the Cubs organization, he went back and played for the Washington Wild Things last year. He throws a pitch here that misses outside. He also played in Melbourne last season. Played in the Australian Baseball League, pitched in 9 games there. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled away. So he's been with Wichita this year, has posted a 3-0 record and a 4.37 ERA in 22 games. Wind starting to pick up as the rain comes down. Rain's still falling at the same pace, but the wind's starting to pick up now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Peterson. And the pitch, called strike 3. Peterson goes down looking. Second time tonight he has struck out looking. And the next batter for the Lemurs is Devontre Richardson. Richardson still on that 21-game hitting streak. He needs a hit now. We don't know if he's going to get up again. He's got a tough customer up there on the mound that he's facing. So Richardson picked up 3 hits in the previous game. And he's going to try to get one right here. He's currently 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard twice in this game. 6-0 Wichita. The lefty, Yavoli, looks in and gets the sign. He'll throw home, and that one is inside for a ball to Devontre Richardson. So Richardson has 35 hits over those 21 games. That's a 1-0 count. The pitch. Low for a ball. Now the Lemurs need a base runner, even if he walks. Might break the streak, but the Lemurs need somebody on base. Here's the 2-0. Outside. The Lemurs only have had one base runner here in this ball game, a double by Jayudi Valdez. And John Link, by the way, he ended up going 5 innings, giving up 1 hit, no runs. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 3, so that's his line for the night. And he's in line for the victory now. The 3-0 pitch misses outside. That's ball 4. So that might be the last time Devontae Richardson gets to come up to the plate tonight.
Number 35, Ty Morrison.
And that might just do it for his hitting streak. And like I said, I told you on Sunday, if you were listening, I don't think he really realizes that he was on a hitting streak. Especially since he had those 7 days off on the disabled list. Kind of broke up the little streak for him. But it actually stayed intact. Here's Ty Morrison looking for his first hit as a Lemur. And the next pitch misses low. The first pitch to Morrison misses low. And that'll bring the catcher Dean back out from behind home plate. And a quick word or two for Al Yevoli. Yevoli is spelled Y-E-V-O-L-I. So Morrison looks for the 1-0 pitch. Here's the kick on the throw home, and that one is low for a ball. 2-0. Lemurs are batting in the top of the 6th inning. The pitch, a little bit high. 3 balls and no strikes. So the Lemurs looking for a base runner here. Remember, Richardson walked, and now Morrison with a chance as he's looking at a 3-0 count. Here it comes. Called a strike on the outside corner. That was a good fastball. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Morrison has played center field for the last 2 games, including this one, and that one's called a strike on the inside corner at the letters. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a big pitch coming up here to Ty Morrison. Devontae Richardson left all alone over there at first base. He'll probably be running on the pitch. There he goes, and that pitch is swung on and a liner into left field. A base hit. That's going to send Richardson over to third base. He's going to be held there, and Ty Morrison's going to go into second base with a double. So Ty Morrison's first hit for the Laredo Lemurs is a double. And Abel Nieva is going to come up to the plate.
Second baseman number 14, Abel Nieves.
6-0 Wichita, and now timeout's called. Here comes the pitching coach out of the dugout, and he's going to talk things over with Brent Dean. Excuse me, Al Yevoli. Brent Dean's the catcher. He'll talk things over with Brent Dean, too. But Al Yevoli is probably his main target. 7:05 start tomorrow night here in Wichita at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. And the Lemurs will play a 7:05 game on Thursday night as well. Home plate umpire is going to go out and break up this meeting on the mound. So Richardson's at third base, Morrison's at second. Al Yevoli got through the first 2 batters pretty easily, and then he ended up walking Devontae Richardson, and now Ty Morrison gets a double. So the pitching coach back to the dugout. Pitching coach, by the way, Luke Robertson. He's in his 8th year with the club. Bel Nieves 0 for 2 in this one, looking for his first hit of the game. He walked 3 times in the first game of the doubleheader, did Abel. So Yevoli fires, and that one swung on and fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. And that stays right in the netting. They actually have netting above the seats here, right behind home plate. So the balls end up just kind of coming to rest at the bottom of the netting. The 0-1 pitch, a little bit high. It was over the plate, but missed up in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Abel Nieves. Lemurs down 6, but they have runners at second and third right now. And the lefty kicks and throws. Swung on and a fly ball down the right field line, foul. And races on from the kids. Who will get to it first? Not as many kids hanging out right now as there was at the beginning of the ball game. There's a lot of them down the right side earlier tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Lemurs probably glad that John Link's gone. He was just on fire tonight. But this is his first outing as a starter this season, so I'm sure the Wichita Wingnuts couldn't let him go too long in the ball game. Now Bell Nieves is going to step out of the batter's box. A 2-2 count. Yavoli toes the rubber from the first base side. He cradles that mitt next to his chest as he looks in and gets the sign. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off at the plate. So we'll do it again on a 2-2 pitch. Abel Nieva is not going to go down easily. Dennis Phipps is on deck right now for the Laredo Lemurs. Now Dean with a few more words for Al Yavoli. Yavoli lifetime carries a record of 10 wins and 8 losses over 4 seasons with a 3.66 ERA through 138 games on the mound. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and grounded foul up the first base side. Went right through the first base coach's box. Banged against the sidewall. So BJ Hyatt's going to run that one down in the bullpen for the Laredo Lemurs, and he'll have to decide which one of the 30 kids he needs to give it to. They seem to come out of nowhere again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, and there's another foul ball. Off to the right this time. Over by the sweet spot. The sweet spot is already shut down. That's where they had the soft serve ice cream. Yummy, soft serve. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nieves. Runners at second and third for the Lemurs. The Lemurs are down 6. We're in the 6th inning. The pitch. Called strike 3. Nieves thought it was outside, and he's going to have a few words for the home plate umpire before he heads back into the dugout.
Hey, Wingnuts fans.
We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lemurs down 6-0.
Capital Care EMS, located at 1510 Calle Norte, Suite number 11, invites you to experience a new standard in medical transportation, servicing Laredo and all surrounding areas. Capital Care EMS provides transports to wound care treatments, HBO treatments, dialysis treatments, doctor's appointments, radiation treatments, chemotherapy treatments, and many more. From emergency medical transport to x-rays and lab work, our state-certified EMTs and paramedics are readily available 24 hours a day when you need them most. Capital Care EMS accepts most major medical insurances, including Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and many more. Capital Care EMS is locally owned and operated. Call now for your free consultation. 956-712-8911. That's 956-712-8911. Capital Care EMS, creating a new standard in medical transportation. Capital Care EMS, the official ambulance of your Laredo Lemurs.
Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Catholic College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800. Right now, you could be working towards an exciting new career in business administration. At Kaplan College Laredo, you'll have the chance to gain professional skills and hands-on training. Earning a business degree could open the door to new career opportunities in fields such as accounting, human resources, banking, and marketing. Start on the path to your new career at Kaplan College. Call 800-617-0800.
Kaplan College does not guarantee employment or career advancement. Information about programs at www.kaplancollege.com/consumer-info.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Honey Mustard Water Chicken Club. The chicken is hot and fresh. It's got melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with lettuce, tomato, bacon, and then the honey mustard adds a nice sweet flavor to it.
All the flavors come together just perfect. I mean, not only do I want to eat it, but I keep wanting to look at it.
The crunchiness of the bacon adds a really nice texture.
Honey mustard and chicken just go together. You know, sweet and savory, it's a perfect mix.
Try the new Honey Mustard Water Chicken Club. Only at Whataburger for a limited time.
Hey Lemurs fans, every Thursday night at Uni-Trade Stadium is a Thirsty Thursday. Come on out and enjoy cold Miller Lite draft beers for only $1. That's right, beer for $1. You can get tickets online at LaredoLemurs.com or by phone at 956-7-LEMURS. I'll see you at the ballpark. All right, coming up to the plate for the Wingnuts is going to be TJ Middlestat. He's going to be facing off against BJ Hyatt, so Travis Stout's night is done. The Lemurs on their fourth pitcher of this ball game. Remember, Scott Gardner left due to injury. He was throwing in the third inning and fell off the mound and kind of just had his arm dangling. Here's the pitch to the first batter, Middlestat. It misses high out of the hand of BJ Hyatt. Lemurs down 6-0. Lemurs ended up giving up a couple of runs that inning as John Brebria came in, but ended up walking Matt Pageant to allow the second run of the inning to come in as the 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. So run was already in when Scott Gardner was still on the mound. It was 1-0 at the time when he left. It ended up being 2-0 at the end of the third inning, and then Travis Stout came on to pitch and gave up 4 runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's right down the middle for a strike. So the Lemurs in a 6-0 hole right now and haven't been able to get anything going offensively. They have 2 hits. They left 2 runners on last half inning. Runner stranded at second and third base. Here comes the 1-2 kick and throw. Swung on, and that one's fouled back. Goes back to the screen. So BJ Hyatt will climb back up on the mound and get ready to go. Hyatt having one of the better seasons for the Lemurs. And the 1-2 pitch. That one is low for a ball. Hyatt, a 1-0 record and a 1.08 ERA. He's thrown in 18 games this year. He's thrown in 16 2/3 innings. Rain's still coming down, by the way. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung and a liner to left. That's going to get fouled. Hyatt was drafted by the Houston Astros in the 4th round back in 2009. He was drafted out of the University of South Carolina at Sumter. He spent a short time with the Astros rookie ball affiliate in Greenville, Tennessee, before getting released after undergoing labrum surgery. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's really been these guys for the Lemurs. Ryan Beckman's been solid. John Brebria also solid out of the bullpen. BJ Hyatt. Luis Poyorena, as that pitch is swung on and missed. There's strike 3 for TJ Middlestat. Henry Garcia, when he was coming out of the pen, was looking good for the Laredo Lemurs, but he's been moved into a starting role. The Lemurs are strong in the bullpen. Their rotation has probably been getting a little bit better as we move on here. Matt Lewson definitely showing signs. Scott Gardner, before he just got injured there, was really showing signs of having a lot of upside to him. Greg Hawley has been outstanding. He was named the Pitcher of the Week in the American Association this week. Here's the pitch to Joash Brodeen, and he takes low for a ball. And Greg Hawley, just a tremendous week. We can go over his week real quick for you. Like I said, he was named the Pitcher of the Week in the American Association. And the delivery swung on a ground ball into right field. That'll be a base hit for Joash Brodeen, his second hit of the ball game. Matt Pageant coming up to the plate. Yeah, Hawley, in his last outing against Grand Prairie on Sunday. Now remember this, that was the day that the Lemurs ended up losing 1-0, but Hawley went 8 2/3. Did not allow a run on 4 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 5. The Lemurs were in a no-score tie into the 10th inning when the Grand Prairie Air Hogs won 1-0 on a walk-off double. So here's Matt Pageant in the batter's box. The outing before that for Hawley was against Joplin. He picked up a win that day, going 7 1/3 as the Lemurs won 4-1. Pitch to Pageant is in there for a strike right at the letters. That day, Hawley gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. He gave up 4 hits and walked a batter and struck out 1. So those last 2 outings were great. But get this, over his last 4 outings, he's only given up that 1 run, and it was unearned. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. So the last time Hawley gave up an earned run was against the Three Rivers Eagles. That was on June 15th. That was over half a month ago, almost 3 weeks ago, right? Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Low for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. 6-0 Wichita here. So pretty amazing what Greg Hawley's doing. And congratulations to him for being named the American Association Pitcher of the Week. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Lemurs now have had 2 pitchers of the week. Omar Ben-Cuomo was the other one, but he's sitting in the Wichita Wingnuts dugout now as that pitch is low and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Omar Ben-Cuomo will not face off against the Lemurs in this series, at least he's not scheduled to. The Lemurs have Matt Lucen going to the mound tomorrow. And the Wichita Wingnuts have Jason Van Skyke, another solid pitcher. Here's the 3-1 pitch, swung on and a chopper over to the shortstop. Jeudy Valdez will throw it to second for 1, over to first base, a double play ball. That's going to do it for the Wingnuts. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We're going to the top of the 7th. The Lemurs need 6 runs to keep the game alive. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. Real proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo area and supply slip sliding fun for kids of all ages. Texas Inflatable Rentals has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Inflatable Rentals at 956-436-3909 or at texasinflatablerentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slide.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks, root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Looking to travel this summer? If the year-round flights to Las Vegas aren't fit for you, take advantage of Allegiant's direct flights from Laredo International Airport to Orlando. For as low as $119 round trip, you and your family can be in Orlando in 2.5 hours. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials. Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit Hot Dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito Hamburger and Cabrito Hot Dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs, now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you.
All right, for the Lemurs, it's Dennis Phipps, Kevin Taylor, and Dustin Geiger coming up to the plate. Lemurs are down 6-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. And another reminder for you that this is just a 7-inning ball game because of the doubleheader. So this will be it unless the Lemurs can tie it up or take the lead. So Dennis Phipps into the batter's box and a new pitcher on, Alex Broshears, coming on to pitch. And Broshears throws, and that one misses high for a ball. Phipps on the day, he's 0 for 2 here in this ball game. And he picked up one base hit in the first ball game of the night. He actually reached twice, though, once on a walk. The 1-0. That is low for a ball. Bo Shears with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, a 1.17 ERA through 5 games. He's thrown in 7 2/3 innings, has struck out 4, has walked a batter, and has given up 6 hits. The 2-0. High and tight to Phipps. 3 balls and no strikes. This is Bo Shears' first professional baseball season. And the delivery, and that one's way up and in, and Dennis Phipps was actually heading out of the batter's box before the pitch was even thrown. Kind of as if, I know this is coming, and I'm going to get out of the way. So now Kevin Taylor's going to get in at bat. The Lemurs have a leadoff base runner on, and that's always a help.
Contact an American Family Insurance agent or visit teamsafedriver.com to learn more.
So the shortstop Hernandez comes in and has a few words for Alex Bo Shears. Lets him know, hey, you're up 6. Throw strikes. They can't hurt you too much that quickly. Here's Kevin Taylor into the batter's box, and the delivery to him is upstairs. So Bo Shears having a hard time finding the strike zone out of the box here. Rain getting a little bit heavier as we move on throughout the night, and the 1-0. Now the Lemurs in a mode definitely when they're taking a strike. Kevin Taylor actually might have went up there with that frame of mind that they're going to take a strike. Let Bo Shears dig his own hole. The 2-0 pitch. That is a strike right there. That one on the inside corner of fastball. So Phipps at first base. Nobody holding him on. And the 2-1 delivery. Called a strike. Make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now Kevin Taylor has to be protecting. The pitch swung on, grounded up the first baseline, foul. Matt Pageant will grab that and throw it out of play. So a 2-2 count again to Kevin Taylor. Taylor 0 for 2 in this ball game. In the first game of the night, he went 1 for 3. And the crowd is starting to get loud here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swing, and a ground ball into right field. Going to be a base hit. Dennis Phipps has no idea where the baseball's at. He went into second base. The ball was hit behind him, and he had no idea where it was. So he ends up at second base. And Kevin Taylor is safe at first on a single. So here comes Dustin Geiger to the plate, looking for his first hit in this one.
First baseman number 20, Dustin Geiger.
Geiger in the last game went 0 for 3, so an 0 for 5 day for Dustin as of right now, so he'll look to turn that around. So runner at first and second base for the Lemurs. Nobody out. Top of 7, the pitch. Low for a ball. Alex Bo Shears signed with the Gateway Grizzlies at the start of the 2015 season, but didn't record any stats. He appeared in 82 games and pitched 247 innings, as this one's fouled off, during his 5-year career at UT Martin. As a senior in 2014, he pitched 67 1/3 innings in 19 games. He made 6 starts, posted a 1-4 record and a 6.15 ERA with 50 strikeouts. But opponents had a .325 batting average against him. Here's the 1-1, swung and a ground ball. Double play ball over to the second baseman, Oldham. Oldham flipped over to shortstop for 1, back to first base. It's a double play. Phipps moves up to third on the play. And quickly 2 down for the Lemurs, and here comes Jeudy Valdez.
All right, Wingnuts fans, up on your feet. Shortstop number 33, Jeudy Valdez.
So here's Jeudy Valdez. And the pitch, curveball hits the inside corner. Oh, 0-1 to Valdez. Lemurs would like to at least get a run. They got a goose egg up there right now. Dennis Phipps is 90 feet away. The pitch, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. No balls. Well, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. They have 0-2 up on the scoreboard. Here it comes. Swung on and that's fouled off. Valdez wanted that one. Stepped out of the batter's box and he knew he missed it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jayudi Valdez. He picked up a double back in the 3rd. He was the only hit off of John Link when Link was up there on the mound after 5 innings. The pitch swung on and that one's chopped off the foot of the batter. So a foul ball at the plate. Juan Silverio on deck for the Laredo Lemurs if they can get to him. So Boshears fires away and that one swung on and a ground ball. Hit over to the left side, diving towards the shortstop Hernandez. It's by him. The Lemurs do have a run up on the board and that's a base hit for Jayudi Valdez. So the Lemurs get rid of the goose egg and score a run. It's now 6-1.
Third baseman number 32, Juan Silverio.
Here comes Juan Silverio to the plate. Silverio batting in the 8th spot tonight for the Laredo Lemurs. And a runner at first base and 2 down. The pitch is low. It gets away from the catcher, goes all the way back to the wall. And Jayudi Valdez is going to take off. Valdez heads up to second base on the wild pitch. Lemurs down to their final out. But staying alive here. At least putting up a run against the relief pitcher, the newcomer, Alex Boshears. Silverio from the right side. The pitch. Strike on the inside corner, right at the belt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Silverio staying in the batter's box, ready to go. And here comes the 1-1 from Boshears. Swung on and a ground ball foul up the third baseline. And now Brent Dean's going to hand deliver a baseball up to Boshears. Talk about a few things with him. Boshears last pitched against Amarillo on July 5th. Pitched an inning that day and did not allow a run. He struck out a batter and faced a total of 3. Faced Amarillo on July 4th as well. Gave up a run that day. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. A runner at second base for the Lemurs with 2 down here in the 7th. The pitch, breaking ball swung on and a hard hit ground ball over to the shortstop Hernandez. He has it. The throw is on the money and that's it. The Lemurs have lost the game by a final score of 6-1 to the Wichita Wingnuts. We'll take a break, come back and talk about this one. You're listening to Laredo Lemurs Baseball.
Thanks for joining us for Laredo Lemurs Baseball, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade 40, Whataburger of Alice. The Laredo Lemurs post-game show is coming your way next.
Texas Inflatable Rentals has Laredo's largest water slides. We're proud to say that we serve the greater Laredo area and supply slip sliding fun for kids of all ages. Texas Inflatable Rentals has a huge selection of inflatables for every budget. And to add to the party, we rent tables, chairs, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, and cotton candy machines that will help take your party to the next level. We also have moonwalks and bounce houses. Contact Texas Inflatable Rentals at 956-436-3909 or at texasinflatablerentals.com and book with the coupon code LEMURS for a 10% discount. That's Texas Inflatable Rentals, Laredo's largest water slide.
Driscoll Health Plan loads the bases with value. We knock it out of the park with all the value-added services we bring to our Medicaid members. Driscoll families cheer on the Grand Slam packages, sports physicals, free memberships to Boys and Girls Clubs, and dental care for pregnant women over 21. Take a swing at our baby showers offered by Cadena de Madre. Forget those peanuts and Cracker Jacks, root for our baby blankets and more. Come slide into home when you receive gift cards for completing Texas Health Steps checkups and attending postpartum visits on time. Don't miss a play. Restrictions and limits may apply. Visit DriscollHealthPlan.com.
Looking to travel this summer? If the year-round flights to Las Vegas aren't fit for you, take advantage of Allegiant's direct flights from Laredo International Airport to Orlando. For as low as $119 round trip, you and your family can be in Orlando in 2.5 hours. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials. Texas Outlaw Grill is a proud sponsor of your Laredo Lemurs, specializing in outlaw delicacies such as the Texican, the Gringo, and the Bandit Hot Dog and their ever-famous barbecue burger. Be the first to try their groundbreaking Cabrito Hamburger and Cabrito Hot Dog. For all to-go orders, catering, and fundraising information, go by 5209 Springfield Suite number 4 or call 956-771-1919. That's Texas Outlaw Grill.
Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic, the official team doctors of your Laredo Lemurs, now with 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Our north location is located at 9652 McPherson Road, Suite 12. Our south location is located at 5102 State Highway 359. Laredo Sports Medicine offers an array of services from physical therapy to our newest service, orthopedic surgery. Laredo Sports Medicine Clinic is changing orthopedic care one athlete at a time. Visit our website at laredosportsmed.com for more information.
This summer, Allegiant will increase to 4 weekly flights to Las Vegas, Nevada. If gambling in Vegas isn't your thing, Allegiant is also increasing to 2 weekly flights to Orlando. Enjoy the Disney theme parks, Legoland, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, and the Kennedy Space Center. Fly in comfort from your Laredo International Airport. Visit Allegiant.com for details and specials.
Now it's time for the Laredo Lemurs post-game show. Laredo Lemurs baseball is brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade Forwarding, Whataburger of Alice. Now here's Bill Harrington with Laredo Lemurs post-game show.
All right, Lemurs fans, thanks for sticking around for the post-game show. Bill Harrington coming to you from Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita, Kansas, as the Lemurs lose this one by a final score of 6-1. In fact, they lose both ends of a doubleheader tonight. The first game they lost 5-1. In the second game they lose 6-1. And it was really all about John Link tonight in the second ball game. John Link went 5 innings, gave up only 1 hit, no runs. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 3 in his outing against the Laredo Lemurs here. And when you run into somebody like that, it's not easy to score. And the Lemurs just are not putting up runs right now. They only scored 1 run in the first game against Tim Brown, and that run was unearned. The Lemurs had Ty Morrison reach on an error by the very man Tim Brown. So That run ended up coming in to score. It could have been a shutout there on that side for the Laredo Lemurs as well if they didn't get that batter on via the error. So right now it's tough going for the Laredo Lemurs trying to score runs, and they really got to pull out of this. Just about 10 days ago, the Lemurs were scoring 5.5 runs per game, and the average has dropped to 4.9 runs per game. And over the last 4 games, they've scored 3 runs. Over the last 5 games, they've scored 6 runs. Over the last 6 games, they've scored 8 runs. So it just keeps accumulating as we keep going here. And remember, the Lemurs were shut out against the Grand Prairie Airhogs the other day on Sunday. Lemurs scored 4 runs in the 4-1 victory over Grand Prairie. They scored 3 runs on the Friday game against the Airhogs. But you go back to the Joplin game on Thursday, the Lemurs ended up winning that game 2-1. So they're winning some games here and there, and they're still a game above 500 right now. Actually, they're 23-22 on the season. So that's definitely a good sign, but the trend as far as scoring is going down. So is the batting average for the team. That's been dipping as of late. The Lemurs were in the top 3 in hitting for a long time in the American Association, and that keeps trending downwards. Unfortunately, it looks like, well, it's fortunate. The pitching seems to be getting better, and the hitting seems to be getting worse. And at the beginning of the season, the hitting was on fire, and the pitching wasn't all that good, at least the starting rotation. The starting rotation is really starting to come around. It's really starting to mesh very, very nicely for the Laredo Lemurs. Unfortunately, a big injury tonight to Scott Gardner, and hopefully he'll be okay. At the beginning, I thought maybe he dislocated his shoulder, but when he left the field, he had some ice around his elbow. Scott Gardner for the Lemurs ended up going 2 1/3 before he left with that injury. Gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. They were both unearned. He walked 2 and struck out 3 batters. So it looks like the Lemurs are flip-flopping the roles here. The bullpen has been solid all season long. That has not been an issue whatsoever. But at the beginning of the year, the Lemurs bats were hot. They came out. They were scolding the baseball around. They were winning baseball games with big runs up on the board. And now they're winning games. You know, they're playing about 500 baseball right now, and they're winning games by a thin margin for the most part. But they are still getting some wins. But of course, now they have lost 3 games in a row, including the one going back to Sunday. So, some things that need to be addressed. And I'm sure manager Pete Incaviglia is all over this stuff. You know, he's got a very keen eye for the baseball game and how to make the adjustments to get the team back on track. And this team has been a winning team every single year that we've been here. It's only been a 3-year experiment so far for the Laredo Lemurs, but so far so good down there from manager Pete Incaviglia's point of view. So the Lemurs have made the playoffs twice. So the Lemurs just need to get the runs going again here, and I'm sure they can do that. They have some big hitters down there. Dennis Phipps is still down there. Abel Nieves is still down there. I know Geiger can hit. He's just getting off to a little bit of a slow start with the Laredo Lemurs. Devontre Richardson just had a 21-game hitting streak broken, so he's a great addition to the club. It's just a matter of everybody getting going at the same time again like they were before. So I'm sure they'll be right back on track as things go on here throughout the season with the Laredo Lemurs. So a loss here tonight by a final score of 6-1. The first game of the doubleheader, they lost 5-1, and they look to turn things around tomorrow night when they send Matt Lucen up to the mound for the Laredo Lemurs. Let's get you the scoreboard from around the American Association before we get out of here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the broadcast and get ready for tomorrow night's ball game. So the Grand Prairie Airhogs beat the Kansas City T-Bones 4-3 in the first game of a doubleheader. And the second game of the doubleheader there is Kansas City 4, Grand Prairie nothing in the bottom of the 5th inning. Joplin and Amarillo rained out today, so they didn't play any baseball. Winnipeg big over Fargo 11-0, that game in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Ottawa Champions, they beat the St. Paul Saints 2-1. And the Sioux Falls Canaries win over the Lincoln Salt Dogs 9-2. And that's it for us tonight. And there's all your scores for this evening. So we'll be back on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. 7:05 is the first pitch scheduled time here tomorrow from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. And we'll have 2 more games here on Wednesday and on Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to bringing you the broadcast tomorrow as the Laredo Lemurs take on the Wichita Wingnuts one more time. From Lawrence Dumont Stadium, good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for Laredo Lemurs Baseball, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken, AEP Texas, Armadillo Homes, Ascending Technologies, Ashley's Furniture of Laredo, Capital Care EMS, Chavarias Plumbing, Core Business Solutions, Driscoll Health Plan, Falcon International Bank, Family Chevrolet, Gold's Gym, Guerra Communications, HEB, iGadget Repair Center, Kaplan College, Laredo International Airport, Laredo Pony League, Laredo Sports Medicine, Mike's Paint Place, Pepsi, Pro Mega Signs, Southern Distributing, Southern Sanitation, Talk and Talk Wireless, TAMU Housing and Residence, Texas Farm Bureau, Texas Inflatables, Texas Outlaw Grill, Tokyo Garden, Total Termite Pest and Control, Uni-Trade Forwarding, Whataburger of Alice. Join us next time for all your Laredo Lemurs action.
Miller invented light beer, the original light Pilsner, and that changed everything. This led to people wondering, L-I-T-E, that's how you spell light? Which led to people thumbing through their dictionary.